Hi there. Are you looking for a calm space to find in this turbulent world? Are you looking for more love, more peace, and more abundance in your life? Do you want to wake up each day with greater purpose and feel more fulfilled? If you are, then CSLNJ is the place for you. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey. Over the past 2 decades, our open and affirming community has created a safe space for all to come and be uplifted. I hope you enjoy watching. And if you like what you see, please visit us at cslnj.org.
Good morning, everyone. Let's begin this glorious day with some gratitude. Today I saw the sun. I stood out in the rain and watched the eagle fly again. I heard a baby cry and walked right through the storm and felt the wind upon my face. And all the while I could not help but see the life that lives and breathes in you and me. And I am peaceful, yes, and I'm grateful, Lord, and I'm thankful, oh Lord. Yes, I am, and I'm hopeful, yeah, and I'm so full, and I'm thankful, oh, I am. I hugged an old oak tree, the earth beneath my feet, and saw a shooting star above. I looked into your eyes and touched an open heart and fell into a whole lot of love. And all the while I could not help but see the life that lives and breathes in you and me. And I am peaceful, yeah, and I'm grateful, Lord, and I'm thankful, oh Lord. Yes, I am, and I'm hopeful, yeah, and I'm so full, and I'm thankful, oh, I am. Here we go, fine. And all the while I could not help but see the life that lives and breathes in you and me. And I am peaceful, yes, and I'm grateful, and I'm thankful, oh Lord. Yes, I am, and I'm hopeful, yes, and I'm so full, and I'm thankful, oh, I am so peaceful, yes, and I'm grateful, I'm thankful, oh, I am hopeful, yes, and I'm so full, and I'm thankful, oh, I am, and I'm thankful, oh, I am, yes, I am, so grateful, so peaceful. Yes, good morning, good morning, good morning indeed. How's everybody this morning? Good, good, good. I'd like to welcome you all to the Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey. Read along or say it along with me, where we are an open and affirming science of mind community, where the vibration of love lifts you, the wisdom of the ages inspires you, and the science of mind teaching empowers you. We believe that heaven and hell are states of consciousness that you experience in this lifetime, that you are the architect of your life, and that it is never too late to know true happiness. My name is Brian Jude Pietkowski. I am your host today, and we have a few people to thank today. I'd like to thank Reverend Neil for being our practitioner of the day and leading our meditation. I'd like to welcome Robin Hackett for joining us on the guitar, and Celine and Clive, of course. And for those of you who have not met him or have not seen him since he was 2 feet tall and is now 3 times the size, I'd like to welcome and thank my son David for filling in for Joe Schneider on the technology end today. And just a little point of information, we do have to pack up and be out of here by 12 o'clock today. So we're going to keep things very short. Our speaker today, Reverend Michelle, she's going to deliver a talk that's going to be about 6 minutes long today, right? That's right. There you go. And there will be no hospitality today. And if you're here for the first time, I'd like to welcome you. Thank you for being here. And I see a lot of old faces that I haven't seen here in a while. So thank you for being here today. And well, I don't mean like old faces, just faces who haven't been here in a while. So, and that's right, in a minute, or maybe longer. And with that, we'll turn it back over to Robin, and then Reverend Neil will do our opening treatment.
Be the peace you want to see, then share your peace with everyone you meet. Let it begin, let it begin, let it begin with you. And be the joy you want to see, then share your joy with everyone you meet. Let it begin, let it begin, let it begin with you. And be the love you want to see, then share your love with everyone you meet. Let it begin, let it begin, ooh, let it begin with you.
Yes, let it begin. Let it begin right here, right now. In the presence of that power, of that love, of that divine intelligence, that creative intelligence that breathes us, that we live through. And from that place, there is peace. And there is peace here in this place, this community where we have come together. And for decades, knowing this place as a safe place to know God, as a peaceful community, as a loving and kind community. And as we gather here today, I know that this entire community is blessed. I know that what happens here today is an inspiration that comes from that divine intelligence. And that as it speaks through each exquisitely and uniquely, that what comes together here today inspires all of us, not just here, but everyone that hears any word, any note, anything that is spoken here today reaches out to create more peace, more love, more kindness. I am so grateful for all of us coming together in this safe place, joining together to share that love and that kindness. And with an enormous gratitude, I surrender this word to the power and the presence, the love and the law that makes it all possible and always has said yes. Please join me in saying, and so it is.
Be the peace you want to see, then share your peace with everyone you meet. Let it begin, let it begin, let it begin. Joy you want to see, then share your joy with everyone you meet. Let it begin, let it begin, let it begin with you. And be the love you wanna see, then share your love with everyone you meet. Let it begin, let it begin, let it begin with you. Be the peace, be the joy, be the love. Oh, let it begin, let it begin, let it begin with you. Let it begin, let it begin, let it begin with you and me. Thank you. Thank you.
Ah, so beautiful, so beautiful. So, all right, now it is time to read along in our yearly affirmation for this year. And you can read along in the chat if you're at home, or your programs if you're here. I awaken today with the courage to see myself clearly and love myself wholly, as I am and as I am not. I open my heart to curiosity, trusting that every question leads me deeper into truth. I embrace conscious evolution, knowing that life is always expanding through me. I release what no longer serves me and boldly claim my divine power. I am awake, I am courageous, and I am fully alive to the brilliance of my becoming. And now,
All right. Look at those faces. You know, look at everybody smiling. Is that the hug, or are you guys on some sort of drug we're not familiar with here? It's the drug of love. You're all old hippies just smiling away, and I love it. So, once again, we come to that time. We heard it before, the Song of Peace. And I will deliver again, especially since we always have some new faces showing up, what Ernest Holmes said about peace. Act as though peace already possessed your soul and it will possess it. Act as though peace already emanated from your spirit and it will emanate from it. Speak peace into confusion and your peace will heal that confusion. This healing power is to be used and not merely believed in. Let me repeat that last line. This healing power is to be used and not merely believed in. And this is what we say our peace practice all the time on how we use it. Please repeat after me. I am the peace I wish to see. I know this peace for my family. I know this peace for my community. My community knows this peace for my country. And my community knows this peace for the world. All right. Our reading today from the Science of Mind textbook. As you probably saw in an article I put out recently that Ernest Holmes didn't write about curiosity. And this is the month of curiosity. So, but he did put in this textbook on page 445 about the great search. The world seeks a solution to its great riddle. The apparent separation between God and man, between life and what it does, between the invisible and the visible, between the Father and the Son, and until this riddle is solved, there can be no peace. Peace is an inner calm, obtained through our knowledge of what we believe and why. Without knowledge, there is no lasting peace. Nothing can bring peace but the revelation of the individual to themselves and a recognition of their direct relationship to the universe. We must know that we are an eternal being on the pathway of life, with certainty behind us, certainty before us, and certainty accompanying us all the way. Peace is brought about through a conscious unity of the personal man and with the inner principle of our life, that underlying current flowing from a divine center, pressing ever outward into expression. But this can never come by proxy. We can hire others to work for us, to care for our physical needs, but no one can live for us. We must do for ourselves. Thank you.
So good morning, I'm Robin Hackett. And I want to share a song with you that I wrote many years ago at a moment where I thought I didn't have the faith that I have now, nor was I aligned with spirit the way that I am now. And I thought that not another song is going to come out of me. And I thought my creative flow was gone. But yet I wasn't showing up. I was fearful to show up. I thought nothing was going to come out. But one night I did show up with a little glass of wine. And I said, Spirit, tell me what needs to go out into the world, what message needs to go out into the world. And this is what it came through. We are all just mirrors. In your faces I see clearer, clearer than I've ever seen before.
give all you can give from. This is what I truly know for sure. And love is what we're here for, to give and give more. Oh, love. And love is what we're here for, to give and give more. Love, 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 love. Oh, yes. I said love, 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 love. I'm tired of all this anger and my own unkind behavior. Who am I to judge anyone at all? 'Cause if I look into you, I can see the pain you've been through. And I know 'cause I've felt the same way that you do. Love is what we're here for, to give and give more. Oh, love. And love is what we're here for, to give and give more. Love, 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 love. Oh, I said love, 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 love. And I am an instrument of my peace. I'll be an instrument of my love. I said love, 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 love. And I am an instrument of my peace. I'll be an instrument of my love. I said love, oh love, love, love. Here we go. And I am an instrument of my peace. I said, I am an instrument of my love. I said love, oh love, oh love. And I am an instrument of my peace. I said, I am an instrument of my love. I said love, oh love, love. Love is what we're here for, to give and give more, more. Oh love, and love is what we're here for, to give and give more, more. Love, 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 love. Oh, I said love, love, love. And love, 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 and love, 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 love.
oh, love. Thank you. Thank you. Make this great band. Thank you. Thank you.
Robin, that's the way to do church. We all just went to church. Good morning. I want to do a shout out to a few people online, to Juniper and Kathy and Zany and Cindy, who are tuning in. Some of these beautiful women I'm working with in some groups and my courses. So I just want to say hello and thanks for tuning in. So I came here today with George. I brought George. Now, if I was really cool, I would have had a little George for each of you, like I gave you each a purple crayon when I did Harold and the purple crayon. But alas, this is my granddaughter's, and I have to give it back, so I can't let you have it. So I've been having some fun with using the wisdom that is right under our nose, sometimes the lessons that we might not take note of, but that are always right there. And so Curious George comes here today to not entertain you, but to remind you of your childlike characteristics and qualities. I'm not going to read this one, though, because true confession. This is true confession. You know I never lie to you. My son said to me last night as we were visiting and I was borrowing the book that he said, "Ma, have you read that book lately?" I went, "No, it's been a minute. I've seen cartoons, and it's always been one of my favorite characters. And last Sunday, I brought my 4-year-old granddaughter to see Curious George on stage at the Morristown Performing Arts Center. She loved it. She's 4, right? And so I said to him, no. He says, "Ma, they stole the monkey. They stole the monkey from the jungle, and it wasn't lovely." I went, oh. Like my new version of that story was that George was just already in the story. So I apologize for not having read it and realized, oh my God, that I'm promoting this stealing of this precious little being, which I was a little bit amused by. But what I know is that the key to your absolute freedom, to my absolute freedom, is equal to your willingness, get this, your willingness to be uncomfortable in your growth. If you're not willing to be uncomfortable, it's the same thing as saying, I'm not willing to grow. Because I have no example in life, in nature, where growth and expansion is not accompanied with a certain amount of discomfort, right? And can you agree with me on that? That even birth, okay, that's just the big first obvious one, okay? But almost always, because it's usually the discomfort that wants us to move, and then when we're moving, the discomfort finds us at every threshold, unfortunately. But the good news is it gets easier to pass across or step across those thresholds. It gets easier and easier. And why is that? Because every time we step across a threshold of our curiosity, we realize, oh, that wasn't so bad. Right? You know what I'm talking about? I mean, who has survived here? Flus. You've survived flus. You have survived divorces. You have survived failed businesses. So you have some of that. That doesn't make you a failure, by the way. That just makes you someone who's resilient with incredible resolve to keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep going. So because I enjoyed doing Harold and the Purple Crayon so much, I thought, oh, what else could I use? And that's when I thought of Curious George. And I thought of the qualities that he brings. And one is his endless, boundless curiosity. He is always, anybody have sons or daughters that have ADD? Those kids are curious all the time. I've had my oldest son, dismantle things purely because he wanted to know how it worked, or to walk through a door, or to jump off the roof of the house to see whatever. So curiosity is often around us. Sometimes it comes with some pain, but often it comes with, wow, what if this works? Our scientists All of our scientists are living into this idea, well, what if I could figure something out? What if this drug could help? What if this procedure could help, right? It's like that's a global kind of curiosity that keeps life moving on. So George has a boundless amount of curiosity. And here's the key, and this is where some of you all go off the rails. I know it because I know humanity. He makes mistakes, but he doesn't judge himself for making the mistakes. But as humans, God, we love to beat ourselves up. We make a mistake and we criticize ourselves and we find fault. Do you know what I'm talking about? Come on, be honest. And so what happens is you don't climb out of that realm until you let go of judging yourself and return to a certain amount of curiosity. And then, like our friend Harold with the purple crayon, George utilizes his imagination to find a solution. He really is adorable. You have to watch some of his cartoons. So, while we're sitting here, we might understand and even be able to speak about metaphysics and spiritual concepts. But where things get tough is where the rubber meets the road. That's what happens. You come, you get a lesson, you love the lesson, maybe you don't, I don't know. Or you read a new book or you watch a new podcast and it sounds great. But when it matters is when you step out of your house or out from behind the computer. That's when it matters. And sometimes, though, we hold ourselves back. We hold ourselves back because we're afraid. And I've been talking about this, I haven't been here all that much, but I've been talking about fear often because fear cripples us while curiosity dissolves fear. Curiosity dissolves fear. Do you get that? So, and George doesn't approach life with suspicion. He approaches it with wonder. You can call it curiosity or call it wonder. But can you see the last challenge you had in your life? If you showed up and said, oh, I wonder what's possible here. Robin did it with that song. You said, Spirit, show me what wants to be said. Imagine waking up every day and saying, Spirit, show me what wants to happen in my life today. Show me what wants to happen in my relationships with a curiosity, because I have to tell you something. If you're certain about things, do you know about certainty? Certainty is boundaries. Certainty means you're not looking. Certainty, which sounds kind of juicy, it can sound like, oh yes, I'm certain of my future. Really? Anybody ever have a turn? Anybody know about this thing called COVID? My life has been upside down since COVID. I mean, maybe that didn't impact all of you, but for me, I mean, I no longer have to leave my house to work if I don't want to. I don't love that. I love some of it, but I don't love all of it. But I was certain where my life was going. So certainty is not something that expands us. And fear tells us, don't touch that. Stay safe. Stay small. Don't try because you could fail. Curiosity sounds like, what happens if? What happens if I'm willing to say what's on my mind? And by the way, since the last time I was here, I had made this announcement. I was going to do this polar plunge. Do you remember that? It didn't happen. I don't want you to think I didn't jump. It didn't happen. Why? Because the pond was frozen. So I'm very happy that they waited. So it is on March 21st. So I didn't want anybody thinking I chickened out. It's still going to be cold. It is. But, last week I went to get a pedicure with my granddaughter, and we walked out with those little stupid floppy little things. They're not even anything anymore. And I walked out into the very cold, right? A couple of weeks ago, we were having cold. And I walked out and I thought, oh, this is what it's going to be like. So and I thought I'll start taking cold showers to prepare me. I don't know if any of that's going to work, but I'm going to try. And I want to re-anchor the reason why I'm doing it is because I told you I was challenging my fear. Whether you understand why I would have fear of that or not, you'll have to deal with that. But I know that I have fear in me. So doing this is so I can break an envelope that has been holding me back. Because any fear limits. But curiosity, and here's the beautiful thing about curiosity too. And by the way, curiosity is not naivete. It is an expansion of your possibility. It's an expansion of your possibility. The beautiful thing about curiosity, it softens our righteousness. You have some things you're righteous about. Well, if you replace righteousness with curiosity, it softens what you think is right. The same thing as softening certainty, because certainty can be death. Now, I'm in the middle, or not in the middle. I'm ending a forgiveness class that we've been teaching. This one is 8 weeks long because my students wanted it longer. So I said, okay. And it was all very worth it because we've gone very deep. And I asked permission to tell the story. I want you to know that. And so I have a gentleman in the class. His name is Angelo. And Angelo, before people start the class, I send them a packet of information, and I ask everybody to do, pre-work, which is preparation, which is practicing non-judgment, non-gossip, and some other assignments, so that they're ready for the course. And so the first night of the course, he raised his hand quite bravely, because it's 2 men out of a class of 22. So I give them a lot of credit for getting into that class and showing up. And he admitted out loud that he's a pretty judgmental person, right? And I said, and of course we talked all about the advantage and why and how it relates to forgiveness in a lot of depth, because it's one of the key components of the course. So he comes back last week after a week of practicing non-judgment, which means at this point for Angelo, it just meant noticing. It kind of meant more noticing and beginning to replace his judgment with curiosity. Well, he came back to testify to how different he was feeling in 1 week, how much freer he was, how much looser he felt. Because the thing about being judgmental is you attach yourself to certainty. You attach yourself through your righteousness. But when you practice this non-judgment and you practice curiosity, you can't do that with a grip. You can't do that gripped. You get that? And so curiosity softens that. And as far as George goes, George doesn't pretend to know everything. He doesn't defend his identity. He engages life through a lens of what ifs. And I wonder, what if? What if I actually could write that book? What if I actually could write that song? What if I could actually facilitate this community? And then when we say what if, spirit, intelligence, finds us. It always finds you. It's intelligence. And the intelligence that governed the brilliance of the great thinkers of our time and before our time, that same intelligence remains available in the quantum soup of life. It's not that it's only portioned to Donald or Edna. It's available. And when we become curious and cultivate that curiosity, we pull it in to form. We pull it in. So George doesn't cling to being right. He is willing to be wrong. And that's one of the things. You got to be willing to be wrong. Anybody love being wrong? I got to tell you, get comfortable with it, and then you will become comfortable with growth. Because nobody's right all the time. It's not fun failing publicly, but I've done it so often it's a non-event now. Now it's more like, whatever, oops, again, sending out a newsletter with typo, putting up the website with a typo, having my published books have typos. It's what happens. It's just what happens. So if I'm attached to having you think I look good because I have everything in order, I am so screwed. Because everything will never always be in order. It just isn't. It just isn't. So one of the other beautiful things about curiosity, when it comes to relationships, now follow me with this. And this comes straight out of all the classes that I teach. Some of us have very strong opinions about some people in our lives. Yes? We have very strong opinions, and often they land on how this person's wrong. I mean, I know you don't really want to do that, but it's often what you do. It's often what I do. So when we become curious about that person that we think is wrong, instead of being certain, right? When we become curious, what happens is we let go of them being who they are, and we start to cultivate compassion. You get that? So curiosity is a path that leads to compassion, because when you stop being so certain that your mother and father screwed you up on purpose, and instead you come at it with, wow, what was it, and this is for people with certain experiences, what was going on that she did such and such? What was going on that he did such and such? And when we loosen our hold, we find freedom. Freedom to be happier in our own skin, free to be more expressive, free to have more love, free to move on from our limitations. George constantly engages the world, which is, something I've recognized hasn't been as easy for me since I've been inside the house. So I've had to make new opportunities to get out. Because if I'm not engaging the world, I'm not testing this muscle of curiosity. I could be curious all day long. If I'm in my living room, I'm not growing. You understand? So it's when we engage others that curiosity gets put to the test. This is critically important point for anyone who might be wanting to endeavor, the whole curiosity, being willing to be wrong. If you want to have a new business, if you want to start something new, even if you're retired and you say, I want to do such and such, you can't be attached. You can't be attached to what was and have a new experience. Last week I was down in Princeton and speaking at the Princeton CSL. And I love driving through Princeton. It represents to me a level of education that I don't have, I'll probably never have, but I admire it, I love it, I think that's a really cool thing. And it also always reminds me of Einstein, and he was the first to say that the thinking wait, what is it, help me? The problem cannot be solved with the same thinking that caused it. That's really brilliant. But very often we don't think in an expanded way. We keep knocking at that same door and hoping. There is no limitation. There is no true concept that is greater or can limit you if you are willing to be curious, be in a sense of wonder, ask questions, and trust yourself, for Pete's sake. Trust the presence of the intelligence as you. Oh, he's told me that. Yes, no. Yes, Joel, I know, I remember. And I do love finding them in other people's books. Not so much in my own. But that's a fact, right? And so that's where we get to face our humanity. I have made so many mistakes publicly. I've had to learn to relax about it. I really do. So we practice curiosity so we can reinvent ourselves at any age. We practice curiosity so that we can heal after divorce. We practice curiosity so we become who we are meant to be, so we can finish that incomplete novel, so we can write that song that you've been singing in your head. Curiosity reopens the future to us. I'm about to be 69 and I'm reinventing myself. And I will tell you, some of the time I think to myself, am I out of my mind? No, not from you. I wonder if I'm out of my mind because the amount of energy and effort that is required for me to expand and do something new, and yet the joy that comes from taking the chance, from taking the risk, from taking the plunge, I hope. So instead of assuming this is just how my life is, let us get curious about a new stance. What if this isn't the end, but it's our becoming? What if the closing of your shop is the becoming of something new? Right? Do we all have examples of a closing? Well, it's never just a closing. Science says you cannot create or destroy energy. It must go somewhere. So that creativity that's living in you must be expressed. Curiosity is spiritual imagination in motion. Spiritual imagination in motion. Why do I bring this to you today? Because we've confused certainty with strength. Right? You get that something like you're sure and it makes you feel strong. I got news for you. It's not what you think it is. I would encourage you to re-question that, to reconsider that. We're here to replace fear so we can find freedom, to replace righteousness so we are free to experience the newness of life. We are here to replace the incessant stagnation of doing nothing so that we can find our aliveness. Let's fail, risk being wrong, and looking like an idiot so that we can shake off our attachment to the outside influences. What if what if you never again cared about what someone else thought? And I say this specifically to the women in the room. We have lived the majority of our lives by standards that we did not establish. What if we threw them off? We laid them down. To learn from our failures without judgment so that we can pivot and try again. Your freedom and success in life directly correlates to the level of your curiosity. Let us stay curious. The moment you stop pretending you know, life starts revealing what is possible. I could not have predicted this point in my life 5 years ago. And not that you know exactly what I'm referring to, because it doesn't matter, but the point is I'm living a fairly extraordinary experience of life because I put one foot in front of the other and stayed curious. I get to delve into the lives and the stories of people, and people listening here from my courses, you know specifically I'm talking about some of you. I get to be present for the unfurling of people's wings. I get to be a midwife so that they can rebirth themselves, and no credit to me, but I get to hold the space so that they can birth themselves, and I wouldn't have seen the possibility of all that from where I was. And I had to step away to find who I was. Because this guideline for me, this frame made me a certain way. And when I stepped out of this frame, I could embrace something new. Same thing with you. The same thing with you. So, having said that, I'm inviting you to replace your judgment with curiosity. I'm inviting you to take a risk, to fail out loud in front of people, no matter what, and then to have a sense of humor about it, because that's always a necessary piece too. Yes? Let's treat. Okay. I know with great curiosity that there is a source, there is an essence, there is a power, and it is availing itself to, through, and as me, as each of us here. And as we come together, I trust that we are in divine alignment with the intelligence, the inspiration, and the love that will have its way with us. It will have its way with us to the degree that we are open. Let us open. Let us open our mind. Let us open our breath. Let us open our heart and allow the same inspiration that wrote Robin's song. Let's let that inspiration move in and through us so we can live this glorious, expansive, mind-blowing, brilliant life. There are no limitations other than what you and I put on it. Let's take them off. Let's break the glass ceiling. Let's lean on each other, on this community, on the beauty of this teaching. And let us do it boldly. Just like my reputation as being the Jersey girl, let's be feisty, loud, without apologies. I know this as a possibility for everyone sitting before me, for everyone online, and for anyone who will ever hear this talk. You and I have a glorious opening, a pathway to a possibility that only our curiosity will let us know what it is. If you're willing to live that life, please speak a yes out loud. Yes. That yes is a covenant, and we are blessed. So I surrender this word to the love that reigns over us, that washes through us, to the law that activates this spoken word, and to the glorious awe of life that is so beautiful. With the bounty of gratitude, I release this word. And so it is. Thank you.
Now it is time to give back to where we are spiritually fed. So please join with me in our abundance blessing, our conscious giving affirmation. I bless this gift that I give today. I give this gift from my heart, and I give it mindfully. May my gift go further to heal, prosper, and bless this center and all who enter. I accept all good that comes as a result of this flow, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is. And there are numerous ways in which you can give. I'm sure you all know where that is so far, and if you're on Zoom, you can see in the chat where that is, and if you're here, you can see on your programs where that is. Some brief announcements. We have a few opportunities. Are you aware? If so, are you aware that you're aware? And if not, Bill Sarnowski is giving a class called Being Aware of Being Aware. This is an intimate class that empowers you to expand your awareness so you can step out of limiting cycles and choose differently. That's going to be 5 Thursday nights starting March 12th. No longer in person, it's now on Zoom, or is it on Zoom and in person? It's on Zoom only. Okay. No meatballs for you. Okay, for those who were online last week. Let me. You can still join the discussion. Stop giving your power away. We turn our attention to how we use our power without handing it over to other people's expectation. Reverend Neil is holding free discussion groups a free discussion group based on Mel Robbins' groundbreaking book, The Let Them Theory. And that's Saturday mornings in March. You can see the link for that. And coming up, we have a few powerful speakers coming up. Next week, we are here in person with Reverend Eugene Holden. I have questions. Who are you? What are you doing here? And I think that's a talk about Reverend Admiral Stockdale. Is that right? No. For those of you who remember Admiral Stockdale from 1992. Anyway, March 22nd on Zoom only with Reverend Dr. Alexander, Great Expectations in Troubled Time. And on the 29th, we are in person with Tony Hamilton. That will be our Phoenix Shedding service. And for those of you who are not aware with that, that's basically our Palm Sunday service in preparation for the Phoenix Rising service the following weekend. And our membership team is working on some special days for us, which will be announced soon. And with that, we turn it back to our musicians.
At the Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, we believe in empowering individuals to discover their inner strength and their connection to divine life. Through our supportive community, transformative workshops, and uplifting services, we provide a safe space for personal growth and spiritual exploration. Whether you're seeking clarity, healing, or a deeper understanding of life's mysteries, our center offers practical tools and timeless wisdom to help you thrive. Join us in creating a more diverse, compassionate, and kind world. Your world, the way you want to create it.